Yesterday was Labor Day, and when a holiday falls on a Monday with my normal days off, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's nice that I can get a 3-day weekend. This time what I did is I added 2 other floating holidays that I usually have. To take Thursday, Friday off. So I've got 5 days here at the property. We rented a little bit of heavy equipment. Here I've got a Bobcat excavator to help us with some of the bigger heavy lifting and digging that we need to do. Get the foundation going in here. What we did yesterday, you can see the trench over there to the electrical pole from the pump house. I needed to dig a 4-foot deep hole to get that set in. So last night when I showed up here, we unloaded the excavator, dug that hole out. I'm right at about 4 feet. I'll clear the hole out today. Our goal for today would be to get that hole dug out, get it all set up for piping next week, and then get the footing set up on the foundation here for the pump house so I can start tying rebar. Later on today and tomorrow we'll start digging all of our apple tree holes. I've got 14 that I need to dig, and then we will return this excavator back on Friday. Today's Wednesday. I'll show you what we did yesterday. We were out here in the apple orchard digging these holes for the apple trees. If you look down through there, we finished up. There's a total of 6 holes. I did 1 by hand. The rest of them we dug with 2 by hand. The other ones we did by the tractor. What we did is we went down 2 feet deep to get these things in. What we're doing, once we get down to the depth we need, we put in the soil over there into it. And what we'll do is we'll flatten this off till there's about 1 foot left, and then we'll get cow manure, put it in it, mix it with some of the sand for aggregate. We flatten them out like this. We'll put our manure in, mix them up with aggregate, and then we'll plant the trees in. The dirt in here is so fine and dusty, it really won't hold a whole lot of water, and there's no nutrition into it. So we've got these holes done. Got another hole over here set up. A lot of this sand's decent. I threw some water in this one yesterday. It just sits there and turns to clay. But we have a couple of more to do. I've got 5 more holes over here to do today, and then we can do 4 more over by the other fence line for 2 peach trees and 2 plum trees. Each of these trees are 20 feet apart. I put the posts that are going to basically hold them in a windstorm in between them at 20 feet apart. There'll be a wire in between those. But how I set up the holes themselves, it's a 10-foot circle. I took a regular board, a 1-by board, drilled a hole through it at 5 feet. This hole here will basically sit right on the pole, marking 5 feet there. And then what I do is I just shovel a circle around there, like I did over here. I mark it with the shovel to make my circle, and then with the excavator, we just dig that out till it's about 2 feet deep. I can go a little farther so it loosens up the dirt a little bit, but this dirt is so hard, nothing gets into it. So there's what we'll be doing. I'll get these 5 holes done today, and then that'll give me a full day Thursday to work still at the property, and then Friday I'll stay here till about noonish, load the tractor up, and then take it back, and then hopefully next week we'll start working on some underground piping for the pump house and start getting set up everything for foundations. Well, it's Friday morning and I wanted to give everybody a recap of what we did. I just loaded up the excavator to take it back to the rental yard, but after 3 days of non-stop digging, this here's what we got done. I have some of my footing dug for the pump house. I found out the excavator was just basically tearing the footing way too much, cutting a lot of the dirt into it. So we're gonna have to finish that up by hand. So I got a little bit of digging here to do. I wanted to do rebar next week, but we're not gonna do it. I got the trench over here, dug for my main electrical. So today I'll price out piping and bring that up next week and get that set in. I actually tied in, I've got a trench here that'll tie in to where the electrical goes. Where that is, there's our long trench that actually goes all the way down to where the greenhouses are. That will give us electrical and signal. I want to get everything up. It goes all the way down there. It's about a 450-foot run. That'll give us signal for any internet control systems I want. That'll tie all that in, and my electrical. We'll throw 2 pipes in that and put that in. I trucked in and I dug another trench going this way. This here's where my stub outs will be for the house. It'll get signal for the house, signal for the shop, and 2-inch electrical lines going to the shop and to the house. Those there will be cut in later, but we need to get those in so I can finish up my footing and pour my slab for the pump house. The yucca cactuses that we planted 3 weeks ago are growing up real good. I've been watering them my dad waters them every 3 days or so, but I'll water them real good today before I leave. I'll be back up here Tuesday, but they're growing new spurts, so it looks like they're gonna do good. They sit in the far corner of our property here. We'll put the other tree in the middle. But you pan around, over here is the apple orchard. I didn't get any of the dirt flattened down, so basically all the holes are filled. I'll have to set those in, maybe start planting some trees, but hopefully by the end of the year I'll be able to get the pump house slab formed, poured, maybe started. I'd like to get just the concrete in if I can do that, because it'll take probably another 3 weeks of coming up here for 2 days at a time to get those in. I'd like to get the manure and these holes here for the trees themselves all finished up and set in, and then start planting this row here. Come later in the winter when the trees start going dormant, I can get these in and it won't hurt them that much. They're in big pots right now. There's apples on them, they're growing. So they'll get them in the ground, and next season when they start growing up, I'll probably pull all the apples off of it because I really don't want them to fruit a lot. I would like them to really establish their roots and start growing a little bit more. But having a week to come up here, do a lot of work here. The trencher was really, really handy. Got all my deep holes for electrical and line in. But by taking 5 days off and working here every day, you find yourself getting up early in the morning and working all day and going to sleep tired. It's like sometimes you need a break. So the biggest thing about living where you're actually working, you're working all the time. So This here's an update on the property for the week right after Labor Day, from September 5th through the 7th. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Next week we'll start laying in some electrical pipe, fill up those holes and get that all set up, and we'll start working on the foundation. Thanks for watching.